Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unit 2, The Origin of Love, a Greek Interlude. I am Dr. Patricia Gross here, and this is Philosophy 350 WI, Philosophies of Sex and Love, an online summer course I'm teaching at Finlandia University. This unit provides a shift from our previous unit. We're going into a foundational text for Western thought on love. We're also reading 2 chapters from our text that pertain to this particular text in ways that might surprise you. Let's begin, shall we? Just so you know, my voice, I know I sound pretty tired right now. It's because I was gardening yesterday and got a million bug bites. They're so bad. So I had to take Benadryl for the last night and today, and I'm fighting the Benadryl sleep. So please forgive me if I'm tired or stumble my words today. This week's title for week 3 is Love's Many Origins. We will be reading several speeches from Plato's famous Symposium, and you can see the 2 best lovely kittens right here. Okay, so again, you have the readings from the symposium. If you don't actually, so there's the full reading you're responsible for. I do want you to especially pay attention to the speech of Aristophanes and the speech of Diotima. You're watching The Origin of Love. It's a music video from the musical Hedwig and the Angry Inch. That's on YouTube. It's a beautiful music video. And of course, as always, you have to complete your discussion board activities. So let's get started. A symposium, pictured here, was a kind of drinking party in ancient Greece. Men would gather around and sit on long benches like this, lounging while they ate. A flute girl is pictured here. As the men converse and drink, she plays the flute to entertain them. For your information, tables and chairs as we know them today were not very common at all. This was much more common to lay down on a bench. In fact, there were tables and chairs like we normally have them now, but they were in very extreme religious communities like the Essene community, so very uncommon in the early days of human civilization. Plato's Symposium recounts one such drinking party. The party was given in honor of young Agathon, who wrote a play that received the major award at a play competition. The men at the party were very, very hungover from the night before, so they all agreed not to be frat boys and force each other to drink too much. Being an amorous bunch, they decided instead to give speeches to Dionysus, the god of theater and wine, booze. They would give speeches to love, Eros, instead, the god of, you guessed it, love. Eros, erotics, you get it. So they're not giving it to the normal god to give speeches to, they're giving speeches to the god of love this time. In the following slides, I'll provide brief introductions to the speeches you'll be presenting on in your discussion board activities. This is not meant to be an exhaustive lecture because I really want to leave the space open for you to interpret these texts. So let's move on. The speech of Aristophanes is tragic and beautiful. It provides an illustration of love's beginning, not as a birth of a god to Aphrodite, goddess of beauty, but as a reaction to an original wound. Originally, all human beings were in fact 2 in 1. We were circle people, 4 arms, 4 legs, 2 faces, 2 sets of genitals. Some were male-male, some male-woman, some woman-woman. But we were not content being whole and tried to fly to the heavens. We had big thoughts. The gods were scared. We were becoming too powerful. So Zeus, the head god of the Greek pantheon, cut us all in half. 1 head, 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 set of genitals. However, when this original fissure happened, we only could grab each other's half. We were so desperate to be back together that we would hold each other, starving to death, no longer making sacrifices to the gods. We were dying. So the gods, in a way, took pity, but also on themselves because they do enjoy the sacrifices humans were giving. They moved their genitals to the front instead of on the bottom so that we could have sex. A moment of connection that made it possible to sate temporarily the urge to be together always. This horrific fissure for Socrates, not for Socrates, for Aristophanes, and through Aristophanes, Plato, is the origin of love. So love in this case for Aristophanes is not a god at all, but rather that feeling of disconnection and desperation to try to become whole once again. In speaking of the origin of love, the myth is represented in the musical Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Please watch this video. It's quite beautiful. You have to anyway, it's an assignment, but it's a really beautiful video that gives a different kind of story to this. Moving on, I'm skipping Agathon's speech here, and one of my intrepid students has been charged with presenting this week. I think maybe 2 of you have to present an Agathon speech. Diotima's speech, with its account of the ladder of love, is touted as representative of Platonic disconnection from the physical realm. The goal of the philosopher is ostensibly given as to give birth in the presence of beauty. But this does not hold up for the rest of the dialogue. Unlike Aristophanes' myth, Diotima's myth involves a birth of the being we call love, eros. This being is neither God nor man, immortal nor mortal. Love is the between. It is the movement between gods and humans. Love is that which makes it possible for human beings, though mortal, to do immortal things. The imagery of pregnancy and birth abounds in Plato's texts. Socrates, through Plato, claims to be the son of a midwife and to have learned the task from his mother. The only thing Socrates claims to know certainly are the erotic arts, but these he claimed to learn from a woman as well, Diotima. Love, erotics, birth, all these messy, sticky, but dangerous bodily functions are more than imagery for what it is like to have an idea, to be a philosopher. The last speech I'll linger on is the short lecture of Alcibiades, the short speech, rather. Poor Alcibiades, as a beautiful boy, he seduced many powerful men. As an adult, he seduced their wives. He would eventually betray Athens to Sparta, actually about a year after this speech was allegedly given. And then he would, after betraying Athens to Sparta, he betrayed all of Greece to the Persians. It's his treachery in part, that led Socrates to his guilty verdict for corrupting the youth. And oh, what a corrupter! Poor Alcibiades thought that all teachers and elders wanted from him was his youth and body, so that he could give that up through sex in exchange for wisdom and power. But Socrates claimed it impossible. We cannot give wisdom, or can we? Alcibiades certainly thought that Socrates knew more about the divine things than he was letting on. Indeed, he saw him once opened up like a Silenus statue. But I'm not in the habit of giving up my secrets. I'm looking forward to hearing for what you have to say in the discussion boards this week. This week, you are going to be reading selections from the symposium and watching the Hedwig and Ingrianch video, which provides a new understanding of one of the speeches in the text. I'd like each of you to make a presentation and post it to the discussion board by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. That's during week 3. The presentation must follow an assigned topic. If I come to here, you should be able to see this now. As usual, these are the slides that I'm reading off of, and my notes are on there. And then you'll be able to watch this lecture from here as soon as I finish the lecture and upload it. There's your reading, there's the video, and here's the discussion board. So let's look at that really quickly. The presentation has to follow an assigned topic. It must be between 6 and 10 minutes in length. The method of delivery is up to you as long as it's posted in the discussion board on time. Please note that some of you have been given the same topic. That doesn't mean I would like you to do it together. It just you have the same topic. The goal of this assignment is not to merely answer the prompt. It is to explore the texture of the text in a way that is meaningful to you. Please feel free to bring in your own life experiences and beliefs if they are relevant. I suspect that no two presentation will be the same. After you submit it on Wednesday, you are responsible for watching each presentation and responding to their questions by Friday at 11:59 p.m. So here are the assigned topics. Jody and Ed, I guess it's okay to put people's first names on YouTube. It's fine, but I'm going to not actually talk about the assigned topics because you can read them, and if you want me to tell you more about them, then please send me an email. We could actually talk on Google Hangouts. So, we can talk kind of face-to-face, through the medium of the computer. You could see my face. You can have if we did a video chat. Otherwise, we could chat on the chat function or just have emails if you have questions about that. I think that's it for week 3. And that's it for today. All right, goodbye. How do I turn this off? Oh, here it is. Bye.